These cinnamon rolls are going to make you forget Cinnabon, that donut shop around the corner, that bakery near your house. But you already knew that. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. Damn, that's good. So into the mixing bowl goes Future Berry here. But first, you should take out 4 ounces of cream cheese and 7 tablespoons of butter, so that it will soften while you wait for the dough to rise and the cinnamon rolls to cook. You will thank me later. Carry on. 3/4 cup of warm milk, 2½ teaspoons of yeast, and 1/4 cup of granular sugar. And I'm going to stir them all together. We put all these ingredients into the bowl of our stand mixer, because we're going to use our stand mixer later to knead the dough for us. We're going to watch the yeast for about 3 minutes to make sure it activates so that we don't wrongfully blame the yeast and throw out the dough after it doesn't rise because we bought the smallest bag of flour from Costco that just happened to be gluten-free. As a side note, we did find the best use for this gluten-free dough. Once the milk, yeast, and sugar combination has frothed to your satisfaction to let you know it's active, add 1 egg, 1 egg yolk, and 4 ounces of melted butter. Stir those ingredients to combine. Then begin adding your flour. We're going to stir in 3 cups of flour with 3/4 teaspoon of salt. Mix until the dough ball forms. Once you got your dough ball, time to let the kneading hook of your stand mixer knead the dough. Now that the dough has been thoroughly pummeled, it's time to take it out and shape to perfection. A nice dough ball will suffice. I'll put it into a greased container. Cover it with plastic wrap to keep it from drying out, and let it rise till double in size for about an hour. While you're waiting for the dough to rise, you can get your cinnamon sugar mixture ready. Going to use 2/3 cup brown sugar and 1½ tablespoons of cinnamon. Mix it well. If you didn't soften the butter beforehand, you can always use Chef Mike to soften your butter. Just check the directions, which may be conveniently located on the frame. If you don't see directions, you have the wrong Chef Mike. Be sure to return him and get a better one. If your butter got over softened and melted a little, don't worry. Just leave it out for a little bit and it'll soften right back up. Now the dough is risen to almost double the size. Transfer it to a well-floured surface. Well, flour the pins so nothing sticks. Nice 14×9 roll out. Okay, beautiful. And then spread your cinnamon sugar mixture over the dough and the butter. And use your hands to spread the sugar out over the butter and press it in till it becomes a cinnamony, sugary, buttery paste. You're going to roll it up on the side that's fully immersed. Now that you got a round cinnamon log, you might use some mint flavored dental joss for that je ne sais quoi at 1-inch intervals. But me, I'm too lazy to do that. I'm going to use a dough scraper. Check that. The dental floss worked too well. Now I'm going to place the cinnamon rolls in a greased casserole dish. Then cover again with saran wrap and let them rise again for another 30 minutes. With about 10 minutes left in their rise, you can preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit and get ready for the baking. So we let them rise again for about 30 minutes. Now it's time to put them into our 350 degree preheated oven for 20 to 25 minutes, or until you stick a toothpick into it and it comes out clean. When you cook them separately, you see they get done actually a lot faster. This is 15 minutes worth, and if I poke the stick right through, comes out clean as a whistle. So after about 20-25 minutes, they're out. A little too brown on the top. I could have taken it out a little earlier. But again, I wanted to make sure the dough on the bottom was completely baked and no raw dough at the bottom. So while we wait for these to cool down for about 5 to 10 minutes, we're going to make the icing that goes on top. Into a small bowl, 3 tablespoons softened butter, 4 ounces of softened cream cheese, 3/4 cup of powdered sugar, half a teaspoon of vanilla. Then use a hand mixer to make it nice and fluffy. Nice cream cheese, butter, sugar icing. Now that they're fairly cool to the touch, about 5 to 10 minutes later, you can layer on the icing. And now the best cinnamon rolls you can make at home are ready for digesting. So Happy Healthy Daughter is here to help with the taste test. So let's take one of them out. So these ones are warm, but I've had them before and they're just as good after the refrigeration.
It has a bread-like texture, but the top is a little crunchy, which is good. The frosting is where most of the sweetness is. If you would eat the roll by itself, you'd have bread with hints of cinnamon coming through. It all goes together very well.
Very cinnamony. The icing makes it lusciously sweet. Very great cheesy, buttery topping that just melts over the roll. When they're warm, they are very tasty. You get the cinnamon, you get the crunch from the top of the crust, you get the gooiness of the rest of the bread on the inside. And you can take a look at the bread-like consistency of it. It's just an excellent cinnamon roll that I could eat breakfast every day. So this is a terribly sweet breakfast that you're going to want to offset with something a little more savory. So in order to do that, you're going to click on this video right here. That's going to show you a great dish to go with these cinnamon rolls.